Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll give another 5 minutes and then we can get started
that's
at
fine.
9
That's
p.m.
fine. That's fine.
CST. Good morning, good evening, all masters for joining this particular session. And thank you, Subriji, for conducting this session every Wednesday at 9 p.m. CST. And I will hand it over to you, Subriji, and we can continue with the next chapter.
Thank you, Nitin sir. Welcome everyone. So as we were discussing chapter Arrival of Soma last time, so we were talking about that how Mata was sitting with Minakshi, and Soma is the one who is narrating the story to Ansuya, who is the birth of Minakshi, right? So Mata is talking to Minakshi at this point, who Ansuya, previous birth is Minakshi. So Mata is talking to her and she keeps the conversation going that how she sees the black clouds on her head. And she says that, I am, then at that conversation, Mata finds out that Minakshi is not aware of the curse in her family. So then Mata tells her about the curse that her family had. So the few ancestors, some of his ancestors, like couple generations ago, what had happened was there was a guest in the house. So the host was misbehaved with the daughter of the guest. And so when the father of the girl found out, they cursed the whole family. Either the spouse will die, whoever will get married, if their spouse will die, or the children will die. So she got shocked because, she had nothing to do with this curse, right? So the only thing that she was one of the incident happened with one of the ancestors. So that's how. And the problem at that time was if somebody committed a bad deed or committed a crime, the punishment was not only for that one person. They would say, okay, your 7 or 5 generations will suffer the same curse. So because of that trait, Minakshi gets affected because that family got okay, your coming generations will have to deal with this curse. So that's what had happened. So she was really shocked to hear that, like, how can this all happen to her family, to her ancestors? And so she says to Sita Mata, but so that's how my mother died. So then Mata explains her that you had a younger brother, and one day your mother, Minakshi's mother, was washing clothes at the river, and the brother was playing, and accidentally he slipped into the water and he died. And sorry, she had an older brother. So after Minakshi was born, the mother could not take the loss of her son, so she ended up committed suicide also in the river. And so the father never wanted to tell Minakshi that this is how it happened, because of the curse, half the family was gone. And so this is what was a thing that had upsetting Mata, that because the rishis, all these high society saints, that the gurus that they were called at that time, had so much power in them, in their hands, that they could curse. They had so much power because of their meditation, that they had taken the powers from the gods. And so they had become so powerful that they had no control over their anger issues. And that is why Janak Baba was working on the panchayat system. So initially he wanted his ministers to have little bit control. So eventually, things would get better. But people would usually understand Mata, would understand Janak Baba, but at that point, the society was not mentally ready to govern itself. The self-governance rule, people were not ready to do that. So Sita Mata knew that eventually the things will change, but right now they could just, put a seed in the people's mind that self-governance is something. They don't need some guidance from the rishis. The law and justice has to prevail somewhere. The justice can be in some other way. If I committed the crime, I should be the one punished, not my upcoming 7 generations as well. So Mata and Janak Baba had decided to let go of the control. We cannot take the control from all the control at the same time. The best way to take care of this was to give them small responsibilities. So, for example, if somebody committed the theft in the neighborhood, so instead of going to the rishis, like 5 people, like in the villages that they have five panchayat system, so like little governance, small responsibilities. So for bigger crimes like murder, some, yes, the rishis will be involved, but for smaller crimes, let the panchayat systems take care of that. So they wanted to do this and involve people in little governance so they can get the idea of what self-governance was. So that ends my chapter 4. So I will be starting chapter 5, Sita's marriage. So Minakshi is telling the story in this chapter. Minakshi says that Mithila was Mithila, we all knew that Sita Mata was not born to rule Mithila. We all knew at this point, Janak Baba had already told everybody that Sita Mata's birth is not to rule Mithila. She has to go somewhere. So, and Sunana Ma was also like, I, as a mother, she would never see fit anybody to marry her daughter. So Mata Sunaina Ma was really worried who is going to get married to Sita. And on top of that, Janak Baba had put a condition that whoever takes care of that bow whole story, like we hear from Ramanand Sagar's Ramayan, whoever puts the thread on the bow will be the person who will get to married to Sita. So that day, Sunana Ma was told by Janak Baba the story about how Sita went into meditation that day and how somebody brought her back, and that somebody, Sita Mata, saw herself in the vision that it was the person that she's going to get married. She didn't see her face, but she could feel the energies of that person who brought her back from the meditation, and she knew that she will be the one getting married to him. So one day, you know how we all get pre-marriage jitters. So Mata was getting those pre-marriage jitters, and she goes, "Pitaji, I have seen." Pitaji means father. She says, "Pitaji, I've seen that person, not visually like his face, but I felt his energies. But how will I feel? How will I know that this is the person? Because there's a swambara going on, right? All the kings, all the prince, everybody's coming. So in between the whole big crowd, how will I know who that person is? It's hard for me to figure it out." So Janak Baba explains to the daughter that we all come with a pre-birth planning, and everything will happen at the right moment. You guys have to remember this in your own personal lives. Everything will happen when it is meant to happen, because that is how our soul has planned. We forget our soul planning, and if anybody's interested, Robert Swartz has, I'm going a little bit off topic. Robert Swartz has a very good books on soul planning if anybody's interested. So yeah, so Janak Baba was saying that we all come with the soul planning, and whoever the right person is for you and will come in front of you, and everything will happen at the time that the universe has decided for you. So as I mentioned, Swayamvar was going on, a lot of kings and princesses were coming everywhere from everywhere. At this time, and between all this that was happening in the palace, Mata decided to go help a farmer. So Mata could plow fields. She was a capable woman. It's not that, oh, I am a woman, I cannot handle a plow. So she could pull a plow instead of the bulls. So this farmer needed a help. So Mata and Minakshi, they both went to the farm. They were pulling the plows, and Ramji and Lakshmanji had come with a guru to just to view the wedding, not to attend the wedding, but just to, because their guru was invited to by Raja Janak to attend the wedding. So he brought Ramji and Lakshmanji. So they were dressed up in a rishi's clothes, not as a prince clothes, but as a rishi's clothes. So they were passing by. They were thirsty, so they were passing by the farm, and they see a woman plowing a field, and they were shocked. What kind of woman can plow a field? We don't know. So they asked the farmer, who is this woman, and who's plowing the field? So the farmer says, she's no ordinary woman, she's our princess, and her name is Rajkumari Sita. Rajkumari means princess. Her name is Rajkumari Sita. And Raja Ram was very amazed to see this daring woman, and he thinks in his mind that I have to meet this woman someday. And at that time, Mata also feels that, the vibrations, the energy of somebody around her. So after and then all of a sudden, Mata drops the plow down. So Minakshi thinks that Mata is falling down because she's tired. But Mata, the fresh earth that was coming out after plowing, Mata wanted to feel that earth, the fresh earth, and she starts rubbing it all over her body. And Minakshi goes, Mata, are you okay? Mata goes, I just enjoy the smell of this fresh earth that's coming out of the plowing. I'm enjoying the smell. Do you know, Minakshi, this earth has all the medicinal properties. If we take care of our Mother Earth, we don't put chemicals in our Mother Earth, we will have a best quality. And back then, that earth, the ground mud was used as the medicine for medicine powers. It has medicinal powers. And so Mata is enjoying that. And after she cleans up, she asks the farmer, I felt somebody was passing by. Who were those two rishis? So that's when the farmer tells them that they were the prince of Ayodhya, Ram and Lakshman, and they were asking about you, and I told them you were the Sita Rajkumari. So this is the second half kind of a meeting they had. The first time was when Mata had a vision, was in meditation, and Ramji brought her back. And this is the second time, like a half meeting you can call. Now the third time they will meet when Raja Janak invites both Ramji and Lakshmanji to his palace for this. And Swayambar days were coming by very close. Mata was already so, about nervous about, pre-marriage jitters, that can say, was happening. And during the Swayambar, nobody was able to pick up the dhanush, let go, forget about tying the thread to the dhanush, to the bow. So Mata was very concerned that who is going to get married. And in the end, Ramji picked up the bow, tied the thread, and he gets the right to marry her. So in Ramanand Ramayana Sagar, we see, okay, the marriage happens. But the good thing that I found out from this book was Ramji said, yes, I completed the wish of Raja Janak. I took care of the condition that he had put down for his daughter's wedding. But at this point, he takes care of Mata's wishes. He says, I'm going to go. I gave you an overnight's time. Think if you want to marry to me. It's not that compulsion that, okay, I did fulfill your father's condition and now you are forced to marry me. No, that's how back then it happened, that if the prince or the king kind of won the woman, and the woman has to marry. But the good thing, he gave that respect to Mata as well, that if you feel that I am capable of getting married to you, you have a night's time to think about it. So next day when they come over, Ramji comes over, and Mata agrees to marry him, and over a small uh, get together, in private get together in the kitchen, they decide, both the families talk, and they get married. And so finally the wedding preparation starts getting married. A lot of guests came over from Ayodhya as well, because remember, they were just they were just coming to Mithila as a visitors, not to attend the wedding. So of course Ramji's parents and everybody had to be invited, the family, the kings and other people had to be guests. So there was so many guests at Mithila at that time. At one point, imagine your own family, a daughter is getting married, so parents are happy the daughter is going to start a new life. On the other end, the parents are so sad that the daughter is going to leave their house. So the same family, same feelings were going in this way in this Mithila house as well. Everybody was happy that Sita is getting married, and when the Raja, when Ayodhya's all the guests come over, then Urmila also gets married to Lakshman. So both the daughters are getting married. So Raja Janak is very excited. On the other hand, both the daughters are leaving Mithila at the same time and going to Ayodhya. So yes, everybody is sad and happy at the same time. So this was a very short chapter, chapter 5. So I'm going to start chapter 6. It's a departure from Mithila. Excuse me. So after marriage, Janak Baba fulfills Raja Ram's wishes. He had promised Raja Ram that I will show you how to do few things in the area. Number one was living qualities of the soil, how earth is bountiful. And he had promised this to Raja Ram, that he will show how to govern and do everything around the way he does things in his kingdom. So the second was, he taught Raja Ram how to do the councils, how to make the panchayat system, how to bring people together, how to teach people to do the self-governance. The third was that he should always Raja Janak always visited his people. He never sat down on his throne and commanded people to do things. He had this one little rule, that whatever I cannot do it, I cannot expect my people to do it. And he always was a people's person. He knew each and every family in his kingdom personally, and so did Sita Mata. And he also told Ramji that, how people should govern themselves. And so Ramji was, and he also told Ramji that Raghukul is always a powerhouse, right? And Mithila was a place for education. So the combination of the marriage that happened between Ram and Sita was the marriage between the education. The power itself cannot do anything itself. The education is always there between the two groups to survive. If the education is not there, then the power itself so you need a planning to do a war, right? So if there is no education how to do things the right way, the power itself cannot do anything. So that's why the combination of this marriage union was very important, because it was a union of two very important education and power together. So he also said that after the marriage of the girls, Sita and Urmila, we will all know that Mithila is going to decline. And Janak Baba also knew at this point that the earth was declining too, that the demons will attack, and somebody has to, because he was a very big meditator, he knew all this. And then when the earth will decline, somebody has to come and save those we have all the grunts, all the books, all the religious books that we have. Somebody has to save that heritage and bring it back after all this is over, after the bad parts are over, all the demons are done for. Somebody has to revive all this, and he knew that Ram and Sita can take care of this. And one day, Soma was in the kitchen, and servants were talking, and they said how Raja Ram was being taught about Janakji, about the self-governance. And Ram was surprised that how can people govern themselves? How can they govern the villages if they cannot govern their own minds? And at that point, Raja Janak said to Ramji that we have to take baby steps at this point. Because, first, and this is the part where the rishis have to teach, the saints have to teach, and the kids have to be taught in school how to take care of that. Because, and we are the Raja Janak says to Ramji that we have to just plant the seed and wait for this tree to the seed to grow into a tree. So, just the idea has to be implanted in their heads. And so that the coming generations will get the idea of self-governance in the future. And this is the role of you and Sita. You will bring this, help the seed to grow and bring the law and justice in the society. So this human society can get awakened. And Kiran was confused. Kiran was Meenakshi's, you can say, a lover, but they never got married because Meenakshi's father said, you cannot marry because of the curse, and they both completed his wish and never got married. So Kiran was always around in the area, in the palace, because he was taking care of all the animals in the palace. So Kiran was confused why people need self-governance when we have such a good king like Raja Janak. He's always fair. Any problem that comes, any argument that comes to the palace, he sorts them out such nicely. Why do we need the answer self-governance? Why people need to take care of themselves when we have a king? So at that point, Soma says that, not everybody has a good king. You look in your history books, not all the kings are good. Sometimes some of the kings are so mean to their people, they kill, and bad things happen to the girls and the women in the society. So in that society, the people have to be together and come together as a society to take care of the society. So next morning, that was the end of that night. So next morning, Mata calls 4 ladies and she says, this is the last time I'm going to the jungle, because after this I have to depart from Ayodhya. So I want all 4 of you to come. So the 4 people that she brings with her into the jungle is Meenakshi, Soma, Usha, and Rohana. So these are the 4 maids. And as I mentioned in the beginning, these 4 maids, out of them 2, Meenakshi and Soma, will be with us until the end of the book. So she takes all 4 of them, and Mata is walking on. All of them are sad that this is the last time. This will be the last time in the jungle. They will be walking with Mata. And at this point, they think that Mata is leaving them behind. So they come to the very quiet spot, their favorite spot, where they would usually do their meditation or just play around with the water. So they come around and sit in that corner. And Mata says to all 4 of them, I need to take part of Mithila with me. And I feel that you guys are the best people to be taking me as a part. And all 4 of them were shocked. They're like, Mata is going to take us with her. And out of them 4, Meenakshi was really more shocked, because she thought that I am getting old, I'm useless. Why would Mata would need somebody who's energetic, help her around. Being when Mata becomes the queen, so many responsibilities will be over Mata. So she was the most shocked one, that how Mata is taking her. So Mata says, no, you can all come with us. But here I see another good point in the book. Back then, if the queen says something or the princess says something, if I tell you to come with me, you have to come with me. But Mata did not say like that. Mata says, I wish you can come with me, but it is your choice. Rohana, I know you have a sister, you have nieces and nephew that you're close to. So it's again your choice. All 4 of them were given a choice that if they want to come with me or not. There was no force at this point. So all 4 of them really loved the idea, and they loved, and Meenakshi says, Mata, I would never be anywhere else besides where you are. That's the best place, and this is the best opportunity. And all 4 of them agreed to go with Mata to Ayodhya. So now it's the time when the Vidai is happening. The Vidai means the bride is leaving. So everybody's standing on the door, And this is the last time before they come to the door. Mata and all three of them are there. Meenakshi goes to say bye to Kiran, because this is the last time she's going to see, and now she's going to meet him in the next birth. So Meenakshi says at this point, goodbyes are always hard, and I've never said goodbye in this way. Yes, she has said goodbye to Aditi and her own father because they left the body, not when the person is alive. So this is the first time. So basically, they both had the feelings for each other, but to respect Meenakshi's father, they never got married. And so in the next birth, they will meet again, but they don't know this. So for them, this is the last time we meet. And so they say goodbyes. And Meenakshi also comes and joins Mata and the other three at the door. So Mata is at the door at this time. Janak Baba and Sunanama are saying goodbyes to their daughters. And all of a sudden, Janak Baba comes and say goodbyes to the servants as well. And he tells Meenakshi that you have given your father every reason to be proud of. And they never treated them as a servants. They treated them as their daughters, Janak Baba and Sunanama. They sent them off with all the gifts as they'd sent off their own daughters. And they said, please take care of yourself first. See, that's the love. Don't take care of my daughter. He didn't say that. Please take care of my daughter. He said, take care of yourself first and then take care of Sita and Urmila as well. So that was the love. They always treated them as family. Servants were not treated as servants. They were treated as family. And and Mata, and also they all, they were given gifts and everything. And Mata was given a special gift, a locket, as I had mentioned, by Sunanama, and a Jura money. That was the two things that she took. She had with her when she went to the Banvas, the 14 years that she was given by Kakai. So that's the two jewelry pieces that she had taken: a locket from her own mother, and a Jura money. It's a hairpin that goes in the hair. So that's the two things that she had. And these words that Janak Baba had told Meenakshi really stuck by her, and she felt like this was also the last time she's meeting Janak Baba. So she doesn't meet Janak Baba even in the next birth as well. But Soma meets Janak Baba one more time when in the end, when Mata is ready to leave her body, she tells Janak Baba that I'm ready to leave my body. And so when Janak Baba comes to meet Mata, that's when Soma also sees Janak Baba again. But Meenakshi never sees Janak Baba again. So this is another chapter that is closing in her life. And she says that I feel like I'm losing my father again, because Janak Baba was was like a father figure in her life. And she says, wherever I'm going, I know wherever Mata is, I will be happy, and this is a new chapter in my life. So that ends my chapter 6. The initial chapters are very short, so that's why we could go by very fast. But the last chapters, like the chapter 20 onwards or so, they're very big chapters. They might be completed in like 3 sessions. It's 10:23. I can start chapter 7 and stop in the middle, Nitin sir, or you want me to stop right here?
Yes, Surbhi ji, you can proceed with chapter 7.
Excuse me, sorry about my throat. So chapter 7 is adjusting to Ayodhya. Meenakshi says again, so this chapter is again by Meenakshi. Meenakshi says, Mata had told us that life will be very different. As I had mentioned, that Mithila was the education place, and this was a power place, Ayodhya. So in Ayodhya, a lot of pomp and show was there. In Mithila, everything was simple. There was no show of any kind. So when they entered the Ayodhya, there were soldiers lined up in the palace. Everything, the pillars had like jewelry showing up, glittery stuff. Lot of whatever they had, armor or jewelry, whatever there was. The shops were very decorative. So they were not very simple people, because they wanted to show that how powerful we are. But Mithila, on the other hand, the palace looked like a simple house. They never felt like it was a very gaudy place. Sunanama lived a simple living, not very jewelry. And Janak Baba was a very saintly man. So obviously he also wore very simple clothes. So Meenakshi says that we felt like foreigners in this new land. And besides all this, but the good thing was we always had each other. And to top it off, we had Mata with us. And that I would never trade this situation for anything else. We were greeted in Ayodhya with all the love that I could see, but we were very unprepared. Even though Mata had prepared for what changes we will be seeing, that this is a small place, we are going to the bigger place, all that Mata had explained them. But she says, when you are there, it's very hard. So imagine you guys are moving from India to America or from India to Australia, how your life changes, how your culture changes. So that's what's happening with Meenakshi right now. I like to compare the book with my own life. That's a lot of points. That way, I can have a relationship with the book. And that's very important, to have a relation with the book so you can understand that book better. And so she says that there was a lot of things around there, and a lot of people were there to welcome us. And what we like, we had a freedom to be around anywhere in the palaces in Mithila. Here we were confined to the servants' quarters only. And here the servants was called as servants. They were not called as Minakshi with their first names or whatever. And she felt really odd, because name is very important, and your name is your identity. And Minakshi and the other staff ladies, the other three of them, felt very odd. There was no love for servants here. Everybody was called a servant or a soldier, so that bond was hard to build up. And here they have to call Mata Rajkumari in front of everybody, called princess in front of everybody. There they called Mata, but here if they call, so basically the whole environment was little formal here. And Meenakshi says that we were not, we tried to be very calm, but it was very calm to be, very hard to be calm in this place, because we wanted to do things our way, but we were confined. And Mata, on the other hand, was busy with her daily routines, palace meetings and all that, and we barely got to see her. We only saw her at the time when she needed to be dressed up, otherwise we would be just there. And another thing in Mithila was, like, if I'm a cook, I could help be a maid if the cleaners didn't come or anything. So anybody could do anybody's chores. But here, everybody had an assigned job. A cook would just cook, and nobody else will go cook the food. So everything was so different than there. And all four of the ladies here were trying to learn the culture of this Ayodhya. And Meenakshi also says that I miss the intimacy there. Everybody was, so, as I said, love was always was in the air, but here a lot of things were missing. Soma says, on the other hand, that everything seems happy here, but she also felt that there was something hiding behind, something was missing there, something was, jealousy was somewhere going on that she could not put her fingers on. And Dashrath Maharaj and Mata had formed a lot of love. So this father-in-law and the daughter-in-law had a good bond, and Kaushalya Ma really loved Sita Ma. And Soma also says that she feels that Raja Dashrath was torn between his three wives, and the three wives had their own kids. So this was a huge family. So at the dinner table, you could see a whole huge family. Back in Mithila, Mata, whatever she had to say, she would say, and Raja Janak would agree or disagree or explain her things. So there would be a healthy conversation between a father and a daughter. But here, if Mata has to put her any opinion, there's Raja Ram, other brother-in-laws, mother-in-laws, so many people on top before the point gets through to Janak Baba. So, things were a lot differently done here. So one day, Mata says that she really wanted to go to Saryu Nadi. So she wanted to go, but again, here they could not go freely. Like, okay, I get up in the morning and I go see the river. No, here you have to be proper. The chariot and everything has to go with the queen. But Mata wanted not to go with that pomp and show. She wanted to go as a simple human being. Like, how the celebrities want to just go grocery shopping, so something like that. Mata wanted to be as just so she can have a conversation with Saryu Nadi. And so one day she dressed up in a maid's clothes, and she asked her maids, all three of them, to come along. So she is in a hiding mode, like in a group. And she goes to Saryu Nadi, and she offers her prayers to Saryu Nadi. So this is the first and the last time she will be at the Saryu Nadi before she ends up going for 14 years exile. So she says to Saryu Nadi, Mata, I wanted to really come visit you. I know you've been calling me, but I was so busy. It was hard for me to get out of the palace. And so then she tells Meenakshi and the other ladies that Saryu Nadi is a younger sister of river Ganga. So she prayed there. And so this is the place that will become a more like a hermitage for all the people once Mata leaves. And so they feel like wherever Mata had, you know how people make a shrine. So this was place, or this river becomes a shrine, and people send Mata energies from here when she goes to Ravan's place. So Mata, this all the energies that Mata gets, and that's how you will hear in the further down the story that Ravan could not touch Mata because of all the positive energies that were coming from all the women that were praying for Mata's safety at Saryu Nadi. So this is why this incident is very important, that Mata comes and visits the Saryu Nadi. So there's a link I'm trying to join, that this place will become a shrine for people of women of Ayodhya mainly. So Meenakshi says, Mata, before the sun rises, we have to be back in the palace. We cannot be here for too long. And on the way back, Mata sees the signs of human encroachment. That means, people are cutting the trees and not taking care of things there. And Mata knew that balance has to be maintained in the animal and the plant life. And she says that, Soma, I wish I could do something here. And Mata becomes very sad about it, but she says she has to raise her thoughts to Raja Ram, and that the balance has to be done. Remember how when she was in one of the hermitages and the trees were getting cut, so she brought her opinion. At that time, it was just Mata and the people, and Raja Janak says, okay, go ahead, sweetheart, you go ahead, tell them what they're doing wrong. But here she has to bring it up to the council. She has to bring it up in front of the king, all the brother-in-laws, her husband. So there's a whole new system that she has to approach to get her point across. On the other end, Soma was hearing the rumors that Mata has to leave for 14 years. And as she was very upset when that rumor became the truth, and she found out that Mata is leaving for the exile for 14 years. At this point, nobody knows if Mata is taking them along with them or not. But at the end of the day, they were all very sad that she came as a princess and now she has to leave for an exile for 14 years. So I'll stop the story here. We'll continue next week. Thank you everyone for listening to me. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Surbhi ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Nitin sir.
Yeah. If anybody has any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask Surbhi ji. I see Gayatri ji has raised her hand. So
Please.
yeah, you can go ahead and you can ask your question.
I think she was just saying, Gayatri ji, you want to say something, ma'am?
No, actually, I was clapping. I'm sorry. It
Okay.
looks
No
like,
worries.
yeah, I raised
Yeah.
my hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was good. Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So anybody has any questions?
Is the story going on the right pace? I mean, am I speaking too fast, or it's understandable? Everybody's getting it. I'm trying to put the links together.
So Surbhi ji, regarding the pace, it is the right pace.
Okay.
We are going on, so we are able to follow and we are able to understand, and we are also able to link what you are trying to say. So
Okay. Thank you.
that is perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Any?
you. Thank you,
I
Jhansi,
think,
ma'am.
yeah. Anybody wants to talk, they can unmute and they can talk. Okay, I don't see any questions. So Surbhi ji, thank you.
I'll
Thanks a
see
lot.
you guys next week. Thank you. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Sure. And masters, we will continue with our meditation session. So we will be continuing the meditation session for the next 30 minutes. So let me play the music. Please close your eyes and hands folded together. And we will start the meditation session in few seconds. Hope everybody are able to listen. Masters, last 2 minutes. Master slowly will come back on the count of 10. Will slowly open your eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you, Masters, for joining for today's session. Thank you all. Have a good day and good night. Thank you all.